Good question. Good question. So the question is, if central banks and the governments launch digital-backed dollars, their own stablecoins, will we need stablecoins? Um, it's hard to say because there's so many factors that my answer will depend on. I would say if those digital dollars are tradable on exchanges, then I mean stablecoins RIP. Okay, okay. I mean, well, Tether, people wouldn't really need Tether. If we can trade, for example, a US dollar-backed stablecoin on Binance, on Coinbase, on these platforms, then yes. I mean, if it's on the blockchain and it's a cryptocurrency, then I mean, who needs Tether? I mean, RIP Tether, yes, because Tether has the scandals and all that stuff. But DAI, I think DAI can still remain around because DAI is really big in the DeFi space because Tether's use case is a centralized stablecoin. If the American Fed, or for that matter, any other dollar or currency-backed stablecoin backed by a central bank is tradable on exchanges and all the exchanges adopt it, nobody's going to need these stablecoins like Tether. But then on the other hand, if they're backed by central banks, they will have lots of regulation and compliance, which Tether does not really have. And I know, so assuming they have lots of regulation and compliance, that's why lots of crypto exchanges don't have fiat gateways because they're not compliant enough to follow, or they don't want to follow all the regulations and compliance. So building an exchange like a Coinbase or Gemini or Kraken, all these exchanges, they have to follow KYC, AML, and also different regulations around custody and holding fiat. That's why the crypto-to-crypto exchanges have less regulation. So for them to adopt a central bank-backed stablecoin, they would really become a fiat gateway. And I don't think lots of crypto-to-crypto exchanges will be able to meet those requirements because they really have to become money transmitters, right? And money transmitters in and of itself is pretty tedious. So here in America, becoming a money transmitter means you have to qualify and register with every state. So 50 states in America, you have to register with each one. And they all have different laws and you have to pay different fees. They have requirements like having bonding insurance, having X amount of actual assets, and having insurance. All these different requirements that make it tough for crypto-to-crypto exchanges to follow. So actually, if anything, I don't think it would kill those currencies, right? Now, assuming Binance, I know Binance US is in the process of getting those licenses and Coinbase. I would say in the US, it would kill those stablecoins like Tether, because if Coinbase and Binance US and Gemini and all those other companies have money transmitter licenses, then they don't need to list Tether. They can just list the actual Fed-backed stablecoin. But I would say outside the US, or for crypto exchanges that don't care, Tether would still have a need. So I'm actually going to go back on my answer and change it. I would say outside the US, yes. In the US, Tether could really have competition. Now for DeFi, I don't think a centralized backed stablecoin like by the US dollar, by the Fed, would really get traction in DeFi, because DeFi, the entire premise is to have these centralized stablecoins. However, with what happened recently with MakerDAO and DAI, we did see them add USDT as a stablecoin that is part of the ecosystem. So I think if that were to happen, they probably could add that there, but I don't think it would really kill DAI and their use case and what they're building. So I mean, lots of factors that depend on each other. So it's kind of hard to say, but looking at it from that perspective, I think that's what would happen.